So we're going to go ahead and break down this gold trade. It's a 2-hour trade, New York reversal cycle. I just wanted to show you guys quickly how I mentioned the bias prior on the free Telegram. I'll put a link to that in the description. You can see here shifting focus to previous week's high on gold, daily arrays being inverted and respected. Okay, key thing here, right? My weekly outlook this week was actually crap. Like, I was away from home, I was recording the video. Clearly I wasn't as locked in on the markets, right? But one key lesson from this week is that it's actually very important that if your bias isn't giving you the signals that it's holding, it's being supported, then feel free to change your mind and have invalidation points on the bias, essentially. Like, don't become so rigid. Like, you want to flow with the market. You want to be adaptable, right? It's probably the best way to put it. So basically, I was saying that the draw's higher. And basically, I was looking for the following day to be bullish. And then just to show you guys the screenshot. So I actually took an L. Again, another good lesson. So effectively, I've taken a loss and then come back into the market and won. That's the trade. Obviously, I'm going to break it down inside of TradingView anyway. Okay, so just to break this down, right, if we go on the weekly chart, we are respecting this weekly FEG, which on the outlook I was aware of, but just not as bothered about, stupidly. But anyway, again, using the idea of previous candles high and low, we know there's a very high percentage that we're going to reach for one of these, right? So let's just keep the high marked on. Essentially, when we start building order flow towards one of these, you have a decent chance of it getting run out. Okay. Also, just be aware that this is NFP week, and that is predominantly the reason why I didn't hold the trade. I mean, I TP'd at where I should. I did want to hold potentially to previous week's high, but due to sort of NFP week, Thursday potentially being very slow, and then Friday being a bit of a wild card, doesn't really make sense to, right? And you'll sort of notice that I probably made the better decision. So if I just replay this back, right, this is what the market looked like. So effectively, we'd run out some liquidity into a higher time frame array, and we'd start to show sort of price turnaround, right? So we had this FEG, which turned into an inversion gap. Let's put that on. To be honest, I wasn't even that confident in like the closure above. Sometimes with FEGs you have to be careful. I like to see a very strong confident closure, and already because I sort of was bias bearish, I wanted to see if this FEG was going to be respected first before I tried to play the buys. So effectively we had this IFEG. Now I'm like, cool, we've clearly respected that and ran away. I was looking for the following day, so Wednesday, to be a high probability buy day, essentially, right? So off daily, the only other relevant level that we have is this daily immediate rebalance, which you guys should know now that I really like. Is that right? Yeah. So let's jump down to the 4-hour. So I'll talk about the loss I took as well, right? There's no shame in losing trades. It's all part of the process. So again, I'm looking at this as sort of that market maker model. I'm understanding that we're in a H4 array and we've already tapped sort of 50% and respected it. So I was open to the idea, okay, that we weren't going to dip lower and that we were just going to run away from that. Okay, we also have this inversion level here as well, which again, so mega confluence at this level. And to top it off, we have some nice equal highs, right, as a more sort of intraday target. So we'll just keep that on. But again, looking at this as sort of that market maker buy model, we're now in that sort of buy side of the curve, looking for bullish arrays to hold to reach liquidity. Again, you can layer on the idea of order pairing as well, understanding that smart money has sort of bought inside of this level, pairing orders with this low, looking to offset their positions at old highs. Okay, if you just want to add in sort of the smart money logic. So coming in inside of this area, I'm like, cool, I want to see, right, allow the day to open up and try and figure out, okay, cool, are we going to come beneath this low, or are we going to do something inside of here, respect some sort of level, and then keep trading higher. Okay, so let's just play this out. So I'm going to show you obviously what I looked at from a cycles perspective as well, and then allow that to play out. So just to show you guys, this is Asia, okay, and I have a cycle called Asia low of day, right, where Asia can be essentially the low of the day. It doesn't need a London protraction. Okay, so this fits my Asia protocol. We swept liquidity and we formed a bullish order block. So I was thinking, cool, the fact that we've failed to take out this low, we've had a failure swing, we've swept out a swing low, and we formed an order block. I was fairly confident to say this low should hold effectively. Yeah. So let's just play it along. I didn't play anything in London, so there's no point me sort of talking about that. The other key array that I think is really important was this hourly FEG. Okay, if you did try and attempt a buy inside of this level here, it's a fair trade, right? From London, makes sense. Anyway, I didn't take that. Let this play out. So this is where the market looked like just before New York. So cool. I'm saying to myself, this low has the ability to hold. We formed an order block away. We're just struggling to, or we're failing to make lower lows. So again, just bullish signs all around. And then to top it off, okay, we have this hourly FEG that price is struggling to close through. So it would have been nice to see a stronger closure outside of this, but the fact that we were respecting this, I'm sort of fairly confident in this low not getting breached. At this point in time, once we got some lower time frame qualification, I was happy to look for a trade. So intraday, this is another cycle. This is a early MY reversal, which I don't think I've spoken much on. But anyway, I'm not going to dive deep into it because this doesn't actually play out. But anyway, so we sweep London. Again, you guys will know I really like session liquidity for my trades. So we sweep out London, right? This is Asia, this is London, just in case you don't know. On the 15-minute, I'm paying a lot of attention here. So we have a strong 15-minute candle away from this FEG. If I could show you, to be fair, it shows what the hourly looked like. So the hourly started to look like this, and I was like, cool, respecting this. I'm confident in this low. We're now respecting this for this 1 hour FEG. Realistically, we filled the FEG. I don't really want to see price drop from here. Okay, makes sense to me for price to go higher. Also, we've then got 15-minute qualification. We've formed an order block. Okay, if you jump down to the 5, we basically we've got a displacement above this swing high, failure swing gone higher. Okay, so I've played the 15-minute a little too long, but basically I entered here with a stop at this liquidity, targeting this that equal high, which is this line up here. Okay, nice little 3R. The entry was at the immediate rebalance, just to get it exact. And yeah, we'll play it out. So you can see we come down, and yeah, we tag S out, right? It felt a lot longer that I was in the trade than that, right? To be fair, I was probably riding this out for a good 45 minutes, yeah. But 5-minute wise, we tussled a bit, we went down, started pushing up, and then effectively it just went lower. Okay, there was news at 1:15, right? I don't mind playing before news. And then I was thinking to myself, cool, potentially, right, before this news came out, I thought, okay, cool, if this hits SL, fine. If we then want to present a different cycle, I don't mind still attempting to play this. Okay, so I'm like, cool, there's news at 1:15 and there's news at 3, right? That's UK time, which is 8:15 and 10 EST. So I'm like, cool, let me just see what plays out here now. Okay, I've left this alone. I've taken the loss, right? 1 hour loss. Cool. Let's just see what happens. So price ends up melting, and I'm like, okay, fine. Okay, this is still valid. Okay, it's gonna ruin it by going on the daily. Okay, but the idea that I'm thinking is like, cool, I'm still in, right? If I just hide everything here, I'm looking to be a buyer on this specific day. At the time of price being down here, it looks like a bearish candle, okay? But we have tapped the daily immediate rebalance level. Okay, if I drag this out, okay, and turn this off again. I'm like, cool, I'm confident this previous day high hadn't been taken out yet, and we know statistically there's a decent chance, there's like a 78% chance that previous day's low or high is going to get reached for. I understood that my bias was still valid, and the fact that I'm entering inside of the lower wick of this daily candle is effectively, that's where I want to enter, right? If you're looking to be bullish on a bullish day, your best entry is inside the wick, right? Makes sense. So 4 hour comes down, fills the FVG. Okay, all right, let's put the crap back on now. So this low that I was anticipating not to get ran out does get ran out. No issue there. Okay, we fill the 4 hour FVG, 4 hour closes. Okay, very bearish. No issue with that. Daily immediate rebalance filled. Okay, so if this is to be low of day, I would now want to start seeing some speed away, right? Makes sense, yeah? So let's go on the hourly chart. So I let this hourly candle close, okay? Nice reversion back into the range. And again, all we've done now is we've collected liquidity. We've collected more liquidity. But just go to the 15-minute just for a second. You can see the cycle now is an NY reversal cycle. You would have seen me talk about this in other videos. But basically, an NY reversal cycle is when the low of the session is created in New York, preferably between 1 to 2 o'clock or 1 to 2:15. Okay, or not even preferably. For me to take an NY reversal setup, it has to be, the low has to be made in that set time. So just going back to the hourly, okay, another key component to this trade is I'm like, cool, the hourly candle has closed. If I'm bullish, yeah, if this truly is the wick of the daily candle, I want to see the next hourly candle, okay, or this is the wick of the daily candle, I think I said hourly. I want to see the next hourly candle go ahead, open up, create a small wick to the downside and run higher, okay, because my bias is now bullish. We've collected liquidity. I want to see that being offset, okay. So I've got all these confluence behind me, daily cycle, obviously the immediate rebalance being filled, the 4 hour being filled, knowing that we're in a market maker buy model, etc., etc. Right? You really want to come to the market with this whole sort of narrative. So let's go down to the 15. Now we're just looking to get on side. Yes, it would have been nice if I could got in a bit lower, but no issue there. We formed a 15-minute FEG. Now it's 3 o'clock now, right? So 10 Eastern Standard Time. I did mention that there was a news release then. So I just wanted to be careful and not, like, just in case that the news was going to come out and just rinse to one side. I didn't actually want to put my limit exactly on the news release. So I literally gave it about 30 seconds, 40 seconds, and then I entered. So that's why you would have seen in the screenshot my entry is like here and not here. Otherwise, typically I set the limit and I'm fairly confident. So we have the target here. I actually got more around 2 out of this. It says 2.5. It's probably because my entry was a bit crapper around this area, plus commissions. This is a balanced price range as well. If I just close everything here, we have FEG left on the left and then FEG formed on the right. It's a balanced price range. Typically, these don't get retraced into deeply. Okay, realistically, if I marked out this range from here to here, you don't really want to see 50%, or they just don't get traded fully, if that makes sense. Typically, so this lower portion, realistically, you could, if you really was very, very, very aggressive, you can have your SL like this. I'm giving it a bit of wiggle room. I could have had my SL here, right, and I just decided to put it at the body, basically just beneath this IFEG effectively, okay. So I've let the 30-40 seconds play, and then obviously I've executed. You can see very nice 15-minute candle. We push higher. Right, if I let a couple others, a few more play out, right, I just want to show you where the hourly candle finishes. So the hourly candle finishes something like this, right? Exactly how we wanted to see it play out. Now, another factor of the NY reversal cycle is typically they will run till the end of London close, okay, which is the final 30 minutes, specifically the final 30 minutes of London close. So this time period here, okay. So again, this is all like daily cycles, right? Which is essentially my strategy, if you want to call it that. So I'm just putting this as a like a time filter to know when I'm looking to exit my position. Admittedly, I did exit probably 10 minutes earlier than this period. I don't want to say that. Cool. I want a different. Let's just do red. Okay, so this is my TP window basically. Yeah. So we know, or if I just revisit the hourly again, the following hour, this next hour, again, I want to see the same thing, create a small wick and go ahead and push higher, okay? Because I'm, based on obviously my data, etc., I'm confident in the final hour pushing to that final 30 minutes, yeah? So we have this breaker here. Okay, I'll try and keep it faint. We should tap this breaker here, and we should run away, right? Obviously, we can tap the hourly order block again, or not again, but the newly formed hourly order blocks is H1, and push away, right? If we, let's just mark on the 50% of this. So something I didn't do well, right? It's just me being transparent, is I want to get better at scaling in, okay? Technically speaking, price offered a scaling opportunity here. I should be in again. I should have attempted to long side of this area, potentially having my stop at the low of the breaker or just at the BE point, or sort of, let's just say the entry of my prior position. If I did this, right, because I'm already break even on this position, it just adds another 2R to my trade, depending on how much I risk. So scaling in is something that I'm personally working on quite a lot at the moment. So again, taps it, very nice. And if I just play it out, okay, I'm looking to TP inside of this range, right? So I don't even know if this gets reached for. I had this high here as my TP target, right? Obviously these equal highs, okay, when I mentioned at the start of the analysis, it's these two. I'm pretty sure this does get run out. But like I said, I'm basically aligning liquidity with this time window, okay? Oh, okay, fair enough. So it doesn't even run. So this is why I use time-based TP, right? Because I'm looking to get out during this final 30 minutes. I'm looking to align price, okay, so liquidity with time, right? Final 30 minutes. So this is, again, why my exits are decent, I'd say. It's because I'm aligning time and price. And I know, based on this cycle, what time it typically runs till. Again, you can see the high of the session actually gets created in the final 30 minutes. Sometimes it's not even this clean, but this is an example of it being very, very, very accurate. So again, I got out. This is, again, makes sense why I didn't get 2.5R. I exited here, and again, my entry was something a little bit higher. So again, makes sense, 2R. So yeah, that is effectively the trade. Hopefully you guys did get a lot of value out of that, understanding my thought process, why I took this first trade, why I took this second trade, understanding where we are positioning power free wise, and again, understanding the exit and potential scaling. So yeah, let me know if you guys got a lot of value out of that. If you do want sort of access to my 3-step daily bias framework, that'll be in the description. If you do want to work with me personally as well, I'd say just give me a message on Instagram, and yeah, we can talk about it. So anyways, hope you guys enjoyed that. See you on the next one.